Hey everyone! In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about revising and editing. By the end of this video, there are two things that you should be able to do. First, you really should be able to explain the difference between revising and editing, and you should be ready to help a classmate to revise and edit their essay. So let's talk first about revising. Revising allows writers to improve the content and the structure of their writing. When you revise, you focus on the what of the writing, the content. So some things that we might ask: does the essay that we're reading have all of the required content? Has the writer included evidence or examples to support their claims? If not, then what do they need to add? We might ask, is there anything that doesn't fit with the rest of the essay that the writer might need to remove? We need to ask ourselves, is it organized in a logical way? If not, then we should help the writer to think about where to move that information so that it flows and it proceeds logically from one point to the next. Last of all, we want to ask, has the writer used the best words for the job? If not, what can the writer do? What words can the writer substitute in order to improve the content of their essay? So you're going to do two things. You're going to revise and you're going to edit. While revising deals with the content of your writing, editing deals with the composition. So editing allows writers to improve the mechanics and the grammar of their writing. When we work on editing, we're focusing on the how of their writing. And so some of the questions that you might think about: has the writer used capitalization appropriately? Anything that is a proper noun, the name of a university, the name of a course, the name of a place, the name of a person, those should all be capitalized. We might ask, has the writer used the correct verb tenses and word forms? So do the verbs match the time when things happened? Do they match the subject of the sentence? Have we used adjectives and adverbs correctly? We might ask ourselves, has the writer used the correct punctuation markings? So do we have all of the commas, semicolons, colons, periods, question marks, and exclamation points that we need? And along with that, has the writer avoided fragments and run-on sentences? Make sure that they're not using just commas to join those independent clauses. Make sure that they're using comma and a conjunction, a fanboys. Or maybe they're using a semicolon instead. And lastly, has the writer used correct spellings throughout their essay? Now, you and I both know that Google Docs will spell check your writing. Sometimes, though, it does not catch everything. And sometimes, even if it does catch things, your classmates don't always notice and correct them. So look for capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling as you are editing your partner's work. So let's talk a little bit about when to revise and edit. You should always, always, always revise first and edit last. Why? Why would it matter the order that you do these things? Well, first you want to make sure that you have the right content and that it's in the right order. Here's why. If when you revise, you find that you need to add new information, whatever new things you add will need to be edited for grammar and mechanics. That means that if you edit first, if you start by looking at the grammar and punctuation and spelling, and then you end up adding things, you're going to have to go back and review the grammar and spelling and punctuation a second time. It's important in this case that we work smarter, not harder. So now it's time for us to check in and see if you are ready to get to work on today's assignment. Can you name the areas to review when you're revising? Remember, revising deals with the content and organization, and we use the acronym ARMS. We look for things to add, remove, move, and substitute. Can you name the areas to review when you're editing? Remember, editing focuses on composition, and we use the acronym CUPS. We're looking to check the capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling. And lastly, can you explain the best order for revising and editing and why that is? If you can, then you're ready to move on to the next step. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to the lesson 4 page of your unit overview, and I want you to click on the must do that talks about revising and editing one of your classmates' papers. I want you to find a classmate, probably one who's writing the same type of essay you are. That will be easiest. I want you to trade drafts with them, and I want you to use that checklist to review their essay or their portfolio. Once you've done that, once you've received your feedback, you need to take a few minutes to look at what they suggested you work on, and you need to fill out the Google form that's attached in today's classwork. Okay? I'll see you later. Bye, guys.